Good evening, Saints Nation, and welcome back to the TESPA Collegiate Cold War Playoffs. We're looking to get started very shortly here with our Losers Round 2 matchup between St. Clair College and Georgia Southern University. My name's Dan Banner, also known as Mr. Danner, is going to be your host here for today's matchup. And you just have to bear with us a little bit longer here as the matches and the schedules have been a little bit scuffed up today. One of the matches that happened prior to ours, where Georgia Southern was playing, just finished about less than 10-15 minutes ago. So getting the VETOS going, getting the lobby going, seems to be taking a little bit of time here, but it shouldn't be too much longer. So we're looking to get this matchup started. Of course, so far in the playoffs, the Saints were victorious in their first set, making the upset over Sheridan. That being said, the next matchup they had to play up against was Humber. And Humber, we weren't able to stream that matchup, but nonetheless, Humber was able to successfully take our Saints out in the winner's side of the bracket. I believe that was a 3-0 victory on Humber's side. And now it dropped us down to play, Georgia Southern University. And this could be the first of possibly many matches that happen here today. So we could have ourselves a quick day, or we could be in for the long haul, depending on how these results end up shaping out. And I'm looking forward to seeing how all of this does go down. Of course, your starting lineup for the Saints this time by is going to be Swizz, aka Lavelle, Sauce, as well as Priestley to get things going. Then on the side of Georgia Southern University, it looks like we have T. Hada, Cam, and Gunley ready to go. Just a few more moments before we get this one going. Still missing a couple players as of this moment, but should be right around the corner. Didn't forget about you guys, just unfortunately a little bit of delay before we start game one. And usually as soon as I throw it to a break is when the game actually starts. So hang tight, we're almost there. Game one between St. Clair College and Georgia Southern University will be right around the corner. All right, and sure enough, didn't have to wait too long after all. Game one just about to get underway, and we are going to start things off here on Hardpoint as per usual, but this time is going to be over on Garrison. Going to be a different one here for St. Clair. Last time they had to play Garrison. I don't think exactly went into their favor, but we'll have to see how it goes this time by. Right now, Saints starting off the eliminations right on point as we do see Sauce in position on the hard point, ready to go. aka Lavelle trying to keep his teammate defended. It's going to end up going down in the end with Sauce still on the point, still hanging on for dear life. Going to be contested, gets a jump shot, but not going to quite find it. Priestley, though, with the refrag to at least keep this point rather contested for the moment until Georgia Southern University are able to take care of that one, as that was Hayda who was able to transfer possession over. Priestley caught in a pinch. He's not going to be able to escape this one alive. Sauce and Lavelle taking care of one of the players, but that being said, the side of Georgia Southern coming in clutch, and the rotations are already underway for this next point. Good little shot from Lavelle is going to get refragged right away in that situation. In the battle towards the point, we do see Swizz. He was coming up pretty huge in the match versus Sheridan. Hopefully for the side of the Saints, we see him catch fire once again, as they're having a bit of a hard time to start off this game. They got that first point and was able to get a lot of points off of it. However, ever since then, it's been all in possession of Georgia Southern. Of course, those who may be new to COD, what exactly is even going on here in this situation? It is a rotating capture to flag or King of the Hill style map where you have to have yourself on this point that we'll see actually right here if I can get to him. Sauce, it's green box that he's in right now turned to white since he went down. But sitting in that spot uncontested will earn your team points. If there's a member of each team on the point itself, nobody gets points. It is going to just remain contested. And that King of the Hill spot, that hard point, it moves every 30 seconds or so. Or every minute, rather. So you have to keep on adjusting. You can't just hold the same point for an eternity, as we do see Lavelle getting things started here, trying to push towards that spot, but he has no reinforcements. Caught in a pinch. He's going to get stuck in this situation. Swizz coming in hot. Sauce as well getting in there. And it's going to be Swizz trying to contest some of these spawns, but it's not going to go into his favor. But it does allow the Saints to get onto the hard point. And let Sauce get a little bit aggressive, maybe a little overly aggressive, however, as he is going to get taken down. Solid shot there from Cam. That being said, though, Swizz coming in hot. Oh, he ran out of bullets, unfortunately, there for him. Going to go down. Lavelle going to get taken down as well. So now Saints forced to reset and try to make something happen here with these spawns. And it doesn't appear to be happening. Everybody I'm switching to seems to be dying. And as the last 10 seconds are underway, Saints were able to sort of break their way onto the spot, get themselves a couple points in this situation. But it's only because the side of Georgia Southern are more interested in where this hard point is going next. So we see Priestley and Lavelle already pushing forward. Swizz is on points as well, and they're going to be able to clean this up. Swizz and Priestley finding one individually. And they're going to be able to hang on to this for at least a little bit. Lavelle up high trying to make callouts, but some of these shots are coming in from some really awkward angles for him. He's going to be able to at least get the one, but then Georgia Southern able to tie this, or not tie this up, but they're going to be able to capture up this point once again. Priestley trying to get himself back into position, but these little trophy systems are really being a nuisance here, trying to stop these grenades from Priestley. Swizz going down as well, and this is going to be another solid hold on this hard point for Georgia Southern. This Garrison hardpoint really not giving St. Clair any favors, or doing St. Clair any favors so far in this matchup. With 15 seconds on the point, Priestley, one last attempt to maybe squeak out a little bit more points. But as we see already, Georgia Southern on the move. Lavelle the closest to getting to this next point. But he is being lit up. It's going to go over to the side of Georgia to start things off. Swizz does get taken down while trying to capture it. But it does leave the door open now here for Lavelle. Can they get themselves set up, and can they hang on to it? Is the question. Dawson going to run for the hills, and he's going to be able to safely get himself out of there. Never mind, I am an absolute liar. He's going to get taken down. Sauce from the top had himself a solid position, but unfortunately gets traded out in that situation. Georgia Southern back in control. Of course, to win the hardpoint battle, you have to get yourself 250 points for your team. So as we see here with Georgia Southern, they're already halfway there to securing game number 1. Sauce going to break the point. Turns around at the wrong time, however. Going to get lit up right after that. And Lavelle and Hayda is going to get himself the double. Nicely done there, Hayda. Really defending this point as best as possible. Finally, Priestley is able to break onto the point, and as per usual, it's a little too late. Saints going to be put in a bad position. Really, really down in this series. next point goes over to the side of Georgia Southern as well. It's a really painful spot for Saints to be in. They've not left themselves any wiggle room. Sauce going to move over, but it's going to be contested instantly by 2 members on the side of Georgia. And they're going to trade 1-for-1 in this situation, but there are more Saints coming around here as we see Priestley secure himself a double while Lavelle finds himself a kill as well, and actually gives St. Clair finally a little bit of breathing room here in this matchup. See if they can hold this to completion and max out their points. They were at like 44 or something prior to this point coming down. Sauce finds himself a little indecisive between targets. Going to be going down in this situation. Swizz, last one alive on point, going to eventually go down. Last 10 seconds. And actually, it does find himself in a pretty decent position here as Priestley is already in position for this next hard point. Will be able to capture this right away as long as he can stay alive. But a lot of Saints are dropping in the outfield, so there's going to be a lot of Georgia players rotating forward. Priestley capturing for the moment. More dropping Saints here. It's going to be Priestley versus 4, and Gunley just going to secure the kill right away, shut that down, and start milking this point to all fruition. And Saints are on the outside looking in on a very awkward hard point to try and even move up into. As we see, every little nook and cranny seems to have a player ready to go. Swizz is going to get something started, however. Does find Haida. He's going to wait for his teammates to come out. He's going to find himself a second, but T going to shut that down. Sauce, however, on the point, going to at least contest it a little bit. Caught running, but he is going to get traded out 1-for-1. Priestley going to get the refrag as well. Very well could get these last 10 seconds if he hops on down. He's going to, in fact, do so, as he does have teammates already ready and waiting. Swizz in position, and Sauce in the crossfire finds himself a nice double to really slow down the advances here from Georgia. Swizz in position as well, is going to find one, but there's, of course, Gunley still right around the corner, is going to find him. The solid headshot coming out from him. Sauce there for backup goes down. Lavelle goes down, and Swizz is going to have to come back to try to make this stop. We're borderline 200 points here for Georgia Southern. They're looking fantastic here on this Garrison hardpoint. Saints having a very hard time trying to make anything happen. I'd be very surprised at this rate to see them hit the 100 mark with the way Georgia Southern University has been playing here. As we do see Sauce charging in. Haida finds himself a triple. Oh my goodness, Haida. Beautifully done. Val moves forward for this next point. Just going to get shot down very swiftly, as we do see Priestley moving forward, trying to make the play, but he's going to end up hiding around the corner instead. Sway's looking to try and lock this down, but Saints are having a hell of a hard time trying to contest these points. Sway's last one on point, and I don't care how good you are, if you're getting outnumbered constantly, you're going to go down more times than not. With that being said, Saints looking to try and turn this around. Still, 45 seconds left on the clock. In theory, if Georgia Southern can hang on to this point, they can end this game right here, right now. Take the lead here in this series. And the way they're cleaning up the Saints is looking like this is exactly going to be the case, as long as they can actually get somebody on the board here. If they hold it the entire way, this game, or not even the entire way, just a couple more seconds here. Saints are getting some kills, but they need to contest if they're going to keep themselves in this game. And there's something about a St. Clair squad that's down but not quite out that just goes absolutely nuts. But even then, I still do think it's going to be a little bit too little too late. 3 more seconds for the side of Georgia Southern, and they are going to pick this game up cleanly in the 250-95 fashion, really shining against St. Clair here in this Garrison hardpoint. May not have mentioned their names a whole heck of a lot during that game, but everybody on the side of Georgia Southern looks absolutely nuts. And like Cam was doing solid. Haida found himself a triple at some point. T found himself a triple at some point. And it seemed like Gunley was always right where he needed to be and was able to really secure that points constantly in brutal fashion up against St. Clair. But we're going to have to lick our wounds here, so to speak, and get ready for game number 2, as this one is going to be on a game mode where St. Clair seem to be feeling a little bit more comfortable. We're going to be bringing it over to Search and Destroy on Moscow. Last time we were in Last time we were in Mouse and Cow Search and Destroy, we did see it go pretty well all the way. That would have been up against Sheridan. And Saints were able to take that one. Search, at least in this last couple of matches, seems to be a game mode that they've been doing a lot better at. They started off strong on it, then they kind of dropped, and now seem to be coming right back around in the swing of things. Definitely love to see that. But it looks like we do have ourselves the briefest of rehosts. It's going to be St. Clair hosting the match this time by. So while we set up the lobby, once again, we're going to take ourselves 5 minutes just to get a quick break in. Thank you for tuning in. Please do stick around. Game 2, right around the corner. All right, welcome back, Saints Nation. The Saints are in need of a little bit of a booster after that one, because that was a very painful display coming out from Georgia Southern on that Garrison hardpoint. But now, of course, we are back on to search and destroy, something a little bit more comfortable for our Saints squad, in a map that they've been a little bit more comfortable on compared to some of the others. That being said, bit of a back and forth start here, as we do see a bit of a trade. It's looking like Sauce actually is the one popping off here in this situation. A 2-on-2, of course, search and destroy, no respawns. It's just plant the bomb if you're on the attack, or stop that bomb from being planted if you're on the side of the defense. And we do see right here, right now, looking solid for St. Clair to start things off. Gunley, the only one left on the side of Georgia Southern to try and stop this. Of course, there is no respawning either. You only get one life, one chance at this. Sauce might get jumped on. No, he's going to just walk right past him. We do see Swizz. Oh, he looks away at the wrong possible moment. Gunley coming in through the window. Looks to try and contest. Going to hop on out of there, but he's going to find Sauce. And Saints are going to start off strong, which is kind of similar to what happened, I guess, in the last game. They did start off capturing that first hard point, but then it did get turned around. There's still plenty of time here in this Search and Destroy series. That's what you want to see for St. Clair, considering how that first series, or that first game rather, did begin. Of course, also for Search and Destroy, it's the first to whoever wins 6 rounds, and they do alternate from attack and defense on every single round. You see Swizz picking up a sniper rifle, finds the headshot onto Ada. Nicely done. High risk, high reward, and makes it happen. So you see the rest of Georgia Southern looking to pop some utility in here and get ready to move forward. Priestley going to be the first casualty, with Sauce getting taken down in the meantime as well. Swizz with the rifle going to have to run for the hills. Lavelle is going to be able to find Cam, so he's going to be able to bring this down to a 2 versus 2. But the bomb is being planted on the A site, which means St. Clair are the ones who have to move in this situation. Lavelle looking to be the first one to possibly go in and get a little bit of cover fire from Swizz on the rifle. Possibly. They're a little bit hesitant. In fact, it's actually going to be Swizz leading the charge with his pistol. Solid shot there with the grenade. Going to be able to chase it down, get a little bit of damage done. Does find T, but Gunley going to get him. The 1v1 with a.k.a. Lavelle versus Gunley. Gunley making the round for it, but catches Dawson running, and he's not going to be able to pull the trigger in time. Tied up 1-1. Of course, that's always the scary part here in Call of Duty. When you are sprinting, it is much harder to line up your shots. It takes a little bit of time to aim down sights. It's not just something that's completely instantaneous, and it will punish you if you're not careful. And Gunley coming in clutch to make sure he can do just that. Attacking has seemed to be the way to go to start off this series, but of course only 2 rounds in. We do see Swizz leading the charge with the bomb once again. 1-for-1 trade here, but Sauce should get the take now, so making it 2-2. And now, once again, it's going to be all up to Lavelle after the Saints just like beelined it all down the same pathway, essentially, getting lined up and taken down. Lavelle in an awkward spot does find Hada. So once again, second round in a row here, we're going to have Gunley versus Lavelle. Can Lavelle find himself the revenge shot here? Do see him hopping around a little bit of lag, unfortunately, seem to be messing with him just ever so slightly. And I like what I'm seeing from Gunley. He knows he doesn't have to be the one to take the aggressive option. Just cover the bomb. As long as St. Clair doesn't plant the bomb in this situation, he can't lose. So 30 seconds, just going to cover this and hope that he can win the gunfight. Lavelle taking his time. Do like this, but he is running a little bit out of time here. Just over 20 seconds left here in this round. And we see Gunley just has that bomb completely covered. He's going to try and make a run for it, and that is just absolutely what will end up happening there. You don't spot him, you are going to get taken down, and that is a hard fight to win no matter what. So solid job once again, Gunley. 2 for 0 in these 1v1s so far. And some very smart play. Not getting too aggressive. Just fall back, cover the bomb, and take the W when they eventually, inevitably have to come charge for it. Swizz looking to snipe over on the A side once again. We do see Lavelle covering B, but most of the Georgia Southern squad, they are all going to start beelining it towards this A site. See St. Clair looking to line up, get some trophy systems up and ready, and open fire. We have ourselves a trade right away. Priestley finds one, he does go down, so another very similar situation here where we have the 2v2, and they're actually just rushing on the Swizz, forcing him to bring out with a pistol, and it's really putting Lavelle in awful positions constantly because the rush plays coming out here from Georgia Southern on their attacks have been very successful, especially now that they know kind of like the lineup that St. Clair is looking to pull off. Lavelle moving forward, looks way... Okay, that one wasn't across his crosshairs, but we do see Gunley alive once again with bomb in hand, just going to try and beeline it towards the B site. But Lavelle is actually hot on his tail. But T is also here in the vicinity. Entering onto the site, keeping himself quiet, really trying not to make any noise. But Gunley, prone on the ground, is going to win that fight. And unfortunately there, for the St. Clair squad, they're going to go down 2 after getting that first win in the first round. And this is looking a little bit like deja vu. If this continues, it could be Georgia Southern University running away here with this game. And of course, with this being in the losers bracket, that would mean the end of the playoff run here for our St. Clair Saints in the TESPA Collegiate Cold War season. That being said, to be able to make playoffs nonetheless in this series is absolutely fantastic to begin with, but of course our Saints don't want to stop right here, right now. And we do see a little bit of an adaptation coming out here. Little change on the side of St. Clair's. It's going to be Lavelle actually on planting duty, which has normally been Swizz's duty. And opting for Swizz to actually take the sniper rifle, and it's not going to pay off in the slightest here for St. Clair as they all come falling down one by one and just getting absolutely rained on. Brutal stuff coming here out of Georgia Southern, really putting their hurt on the St. Clair. A huge play there for T, single-handedly essentially taking down 3 of the St. Clair members and putting it all onto one player's shoulders. Time and time again, this has to start feeling a little bit disheartening on the side of the St. Clair Saints, but they can still turn this around. Still 2 more rounds left in the tank if it does go sour. And of course, the entire series is best of 5, so we are guaranteed at least one more map here today, and Lavelle is going to find everybody right down the center. It's going to force all of St. Clair to completely redo their defensive strategy because they were already around that B or that A site because they were constantly pushing A, but a solid switch up here from Georgia Southern as they were able to start catching St. Clair off guard, going to that B side. We do see Swizz not going to find that gunfight that he was looking for. Priestley and Sauce, the only ones left alive here for St. Clair. Priestley might be finding himself jumped on if he's not too careful. Sauce finds one. Priestley does find one. A 2v2. This isn't impossible, but the bomb is down on the side of Georgia Southern. They're going to have to move forward here. Or Saints are going to have to move forward here. We do see jumping the barricade. Priestley tries to make it happen. Sauce going to try and go for the refrag. Does find the headshot, but T is still around here. And the way Sauce is looking right here right now, he's not going to find him. With 10 seconds left, he has to try and stick the defuse. Sauce does actually get it, but does he have enough time to get this defuse? He does not. The bomb does go down, and Georgia Southern did exactly what they needed to do. Stalled it out just long enough. Sauce able to get the clutch on that elimination, but it was still too little, too late. Going to find himself the best play of the round, but still a heartbreaker here for St. Clair, as they are now 1 round away from going down 2-0 rather quickly here in this series. Swizz going to pick up the bomb once again, move things forward alongside Sauce, and look towards that A site. Another early pick here. Hayda making that assault rifle work. Gunley looking to get in position as well. Does find one. Sauce is going to get the refrag, but it's going to be a brutal situation once again here for St. Clair. Lavelle going to look to move up and try and take that bomb. I think he's going to be successful in doing so. And they seem to be a little bit hesitant. Sauce moves forward, and it's going to be yet another takedown here on the side of Georgia Southern. Saints get the first round. And I get completely clapped to the rest of them. Solid play coming out here from Georgia Southern. Really looking good here in this losers round 2 matchup. And are on a disgustingly fast pace to possibly knock our St. Clair squad out of the playoffs here in the TESPA Collegiate Cold War season. But still have control to play against. But it's one of those series where I don't know exactly how to think. When we look back to the series against Sheridan, for example, it was won on 1 hard point and 2 search and destroys. And looking at the rest of the series, the rest of the matches that we've had in the past, in even the TESPA Collegiate Cold War regular season, control was not a game mode that we were super strong on here. And it's going to be back to a map where we just saw Georgia Southern University take the hardpoint victory. We're actually going back to Garrison this time for Game 3. The possible decider, Saints are in a rough spot where it's going to be match point against them from here on out. Absolute perfection is basically needed in order to keep themselves in these playoffs. We're going to hop into it right here, right now. Control on Garrison. And of course, the difference here between, like, oh, we just saw this map. Is it the same thing? Are they just redoing it again? No, not quite. Basically, this time, you have multiple King of the Hill sections. You have A and B, and it's going to be St. Clair on the attack to start things off, it looks like. Yeah, it's going to be St. Clair on the attack. One side attack, one side defends, and they have to hang on to those King of the Hill spots, or those checkpoints, or capture points, so to speak. Just long enough to be able to capture it. They then get themselves some additional time on the clock, but they also have to get this done within a limited amount of respawns. This is, of course, like a respawning game mode, but you do not get unlimited respawns. So you can easily just run out of gas in the end just trying to throw yourself at control points. You can't just run at it over and over again. Lavelle doing a solid job here to start things off, though. He's about to get absolutely ganked, though, if he's not too careful, and sure enough, he was about to get pinched on. So he was able to get a little bit of control, but at the same time, in theory, Georgia Southern can go back and take away some of the progress, as it was not in the 1/3 mark. Attack looking to go towards the B side as St. Clair finds themselves a lot of eliminations back-to-back. And Sauce going to get things started here. On point, ready to go. Lavelle opening fire, going to get taken down. Priestley up top, barely going to look away at the wrong possible moment. Of course, we know those players are there, but of course, the players themselves do not unless they can straight up spot them themselves. Priestley finds himself the double, but still not going to be enough. Sauce is going to get jumped on, and there goes Lavelle as well. So the B site does nearly get to that 1/3 mark, but Saints are running out of time. They're going to have somebody touching a point, otherwise this timer is going to run down on them. The fragging ability from Georgia Southern just really coming in strong. Near the middle, St. Clair was starting to catch up, but they're all out of time. The first round of this control point going over to Georgia Southern. Of course, you need 3 to win in this case. It's, of course, going to be T, who opened up extremely strong in this game. Looks fantastic. Found himself 2, and I think he finds himself a 3rd here up against Priestley. In fact, I think he does. Yeah, just at the very end there. So now it's going to be St. Clair's turn to defend against Georgia Southern and make sure those points don't get captured instead. We'll usually see some sort of line of scrimmage of sorts here coming from the defensive side of things, but we do see it's going to be Sauce getting them picked off extremely quickly. Priestley does get traded out. Swizz going to find Haida at least, but he's going to try and chase down Gunley. Gunley does get taken down. Nice shots here from Swizz, keeping his team in the game, keeping the players of Georgia Southern away from that B site. There's Pot, or T rather. He is going to get taken down by Swizz again. Swizz nearly finding himself the double, but not going to quite find it. It is going to leave the B site open here for Haida to come take alongside Gunley and start building up some points here. You see Priestley taking down Cam. Watch out for the nade. He's going to get out of there just in time. Lavelle, though, solid nade. Going to be able to take a kill in this situation as well. And the only one here for St. Clair that's even near the points is Sauce. We do see 1/3 already taken down on that B site. Solid attack so far, and still a lot of time. Still a minute left here for the side of Georgia Southern. Priestley going to jump through, not going to realize the player's in the corner. We knew he was there, of course, but the players do not. And more progress here on the B site is going to possibly give a little bit more time here to Georgia Southern if they keep up the pressure on this attack. Sauce looks to cover A, doesn't matter, gets wiped out. Swizz is going to get taken down extremely quickly as well. Priestley and Lavelle looking to try and make something happen, but it's going to be too little too late. That B site captured. Another minute or so added on the clock. And we see from the respawn counters on the bottom of both of the team lists as well that the fragging has not been going on the side of St. Clair either. They have only 8 respawns left compared to the 16 coming out here from Georgia Southern. Sauce looking to try and change that. Lavelle goes down though alongside Swizz. Sauce and Priestley trying to make something happen here. Swizz was doing pretty solid in brief moments as well. It just seems to be a back and forth marathon here for St. Clair, constantly running back to these points, constantly find themselves picked. Solid job there from Swizz to be able to turn that one around. Wisely hanging on for a second before moving forward, but Haida still going to find himself a double kill. And it's going to bring St. Clair down to 2 respawns, 1 respawn remaining. Lavelle does find a nice frag there onto Haida, however, and they're going to try and push towards this A site. They have control of it. Somebody from St. Clair needs to touch this, and Swizz is going to be the first one on the site. Lavelle as well goes down. Sauce is going to hang on there with Priestley just ever so slightly. Priestley pistol in hand, going to try and duel up against 2. That's not going to happen, and that is going to be a captured point. Georgia Southern bring this to match point if they could secure themselves one more victory here on this Garrison control. Now or never, St. Clair. We'll get to see if they can hang on to this game, possibly keep this control matchup going just a little bit longer. Of course, they're now back on the attacking side of things, and that's not what you want to see to start things off. Priestley is taken down. Nice little refrag there from Swizz, but then A.K. Lavelle going down alongside Swizz. Sauce, though, in the background, going to at least somewhat get this close. Keep the kills within 1 nice and early. But Haida, that's one player that I've said multiple times so far in this cast, but has been finding so many opportune moments to find himself not only like 1 or 2 kills, but oftentimes like triples and whatnot. So he's looking fantastic so far. That being said, Swizz going to take him out this time by the site covered currently by Georgia Southern. Not going to be able to get any progress until you clean everybody off this point. Dude finds Gunley, and a nice little job there from Swizz, finds himself the double, and they could finally start getting some progress here on this B site. And Sauce actually in a decent spot to cut off some of the reinforcements. If he can keep this up, he'd be in fantastic position. Nicely done, takes Gunley down as well. We see T and Cam, though, eventually going to be able to turn this one around. Priestley trying to keep Haida contained up in the top here. They do manage to get themselves this first third of point B, so a much better improvement even compared to the last attacking round here from St. Clair. They're not ready to go down just yet. Sauce going to find the kill onto Haida, but Gunley with the quick refrag, but then we do see Saints get wiped out. Probably need to take a second. They have 30 seconds left here in this round, and 30 seconds left here in their playoff life if they are not able to clutch it up. Priestley looking to try and make that happen, however. Solid double coming out here from him. Swizz is on the point, trying to just stay alive. I wouldn't even peek at this point. Just let Sauce try to do the work in this situation. Around the box is more progress towards that B site. The second third of this point is captured. Saints might be able to buy themselves a little bit more time. Priestley, good crossfire onto Gunley, going to be able to find him in that situation. And point B is secured. St. Clair's earned themselves another minute on the clock that they can then now focus towards this A site and try to put themselves on the board with a point for the first time in a little while, it feels like. Priestley, look, then get it started, pushing towards AT, however, going to stop him. Lavelle getting shredded, but he's going to hang on for just a moment, waiting for some reinforcements. The grenade's actually coming out to take him down as well. And St. Clair could win this by out-fragging right now. They have 8 respawns compared to the 4 on the side of Georgia Southern. Could come into play if they are not careful. That being said, though, getting themselves maybe a little bit overextended like that could be absolutely brutal. Bite them in the rear, so to speak. We move forward to the last 35 seconds of this round. Swizz going to be going down. Lavelle does find Gunley, but does get refragged right away. Hayda with another double kill in this situation. But Sauce from behind, able to get himself onto point A. There's absolutely no contest here. He's going to be able to at least stall this out for a little bit longer. GSU, Georgia Southern, of course, no respawns left in the tank. If they go down, that is it. Priestley gets destroyed by Swizz's trophy. That is actually brutal to see a slow little misplay like that. But thankfully there for St. Clair, able to out-frag, and they're going to get themselves on the board. They're not done yet. Priestley going to find himself this double to be the best play of the round. Of course, able to stall out any sort of reinforcements. Well, I believe it was Swizz who was on the point, able to keep on capping. Solid job there. This one is not done just yet, but of course, Saints kind of stuck in an awkward position where they have to play perfectly. Otherwise, it's going to be the end of their season, so to speak. Sauce from the underground looking to get the jump on somebody. Swizz going to go back and forth, and hello there. The Sauce going to give him a little bit of a jump scare in this situation and take care of point B, making sure it's nice and safe. We do see Priestley as well on point A, and Sauce with the solid crossfire actually onto Gunley. Beautifully done there to keep both of these points alive. This could be the difference that we need St. Clair to see. Lavelle get himself on the kill board as well. Love to see it. Oh, hello there, Swizz. He's going to get jumped on, however, and this could be the turnaround moment here if Lavelle cannot hang on to this. He's going to be able to get the one, though. A solid job. Slows it down at least a little bit. Right now, it would be the one-on-one. Cam is the only one anywhere near it, and he's under the ground. Does catch Lavelle by surprise, which, fair enough. He was under the thing you didn't expect it there. The T going to then give St. Clair the cleanup, and now Georgia Southern have the opportunity to get onto the board once again with so many members near that site. This thing is capturing, and it's capturing quickly. Lavelle's going to get absolutely blown up in this situation, but Swizz is at least going to trade it out pretty quickly. Sauce looking to make something happen. Not going to quite get it to work, however. And we got 1/3 ticked down, halfway completing this first control point here on B. Swizz gets taken down on site. Lavelle finds T. Looking for Cam, however. Did not quite see him prone behind the box, and there's still more and more progress in the situation. We see Hayda going to be able to take that kill onto Lavelle, and then Swizz goes down as well. This point B going to be taken care of. And actually, looking over at number 5 here, Gunley, he's already on the A site as soon as they cap the B site. St. Clair is not in a position to try and defend this. There is nobody anywhere nearby. So many players coming back from respawns. Granted, they're starting to find some frags here, but there's going to be the likelihood that by the time they get there, the first third is already taken down. I think Swizz might have just had enough time, but he's going to lose that gunfight, and now that's going to be progress. So 1/3 taken down, of course, that being the safety, basically, the checkpoint in this situation. You can't go any lower than that 1/3 now. AK Lavelle going to find Gunley to at least get the refrag after Priestley goes down. But a back and forth gunfight here. Swizz moving forward, trying to get some sort of control here on this site. Sauce in position as well. We have Priestley, Cam right around the corner, who's going to move first in this situation. Spots him, and it's going to be Cam finding the secured kill in that situation. Lavelle going to trade 1 for 1, trying to manipulate spawns a little bit in that situation. But that being said, Georgia Southern knows exactly where they are, and we do see T in position to just constantly be a nuisance and cut off the reinforcements. Not only are Georgia Southern doing a solid job in regards to capping, but they've just gotten St. Clair to the point where they have no more respawns on deck compared to the 4 for themselves. Any St. Clair death is going to be permanent in this situation. That being said, Sauce is an absolute madman in this game so far. Seems to be doing a fantastic job here on this A site, but 2 members go down. Lavelle and Priestley both getting taken down. Swizz gets taken down. Sauce goes down. Game over. GG. Georgia Southern going to take the 3-0 in this series. And that will do it for the TESPA Collegiate Cold War playoff run here for our St. Clair Saints squad. A fantastic season nonetheless, considering how short the season was, because they were just trying to squeak this in to get something in for Cold War prior to the semester ending. And I do want to still give, as much as it's been an absolute cluster this weekend, to say the least, thank you to TESPA for hosting the league, getting to see some Collegiate Cold War action so quick after the game's release. Definitely has me pumped moving in towards the winter semester, starting up, I believe, in January. And I believe there's like multiple leagues coming up in January as well, but don't quote me on that. But still, was a good run. The fact that there's, I believe, over 90 teams and our St. Clair squad are able to make the top 16 is still an absolute pleasure, an absolute achievement in itself. So they may go down here at Georgia Southern. Fantastic showing. Definitely the better squad this time by. I do hope that we get to see you sometime soon for a rematch, but that'll be it for our St. Clair squad for now nonetheless. Of course, I do want to give a big thank you to the sponsors that do make the St. Clair Saints broadcasts and teams in general possible, that being St. Clair College, St. Clair College Alumni Association, and the St. Clair SRC, Tim Hortons, PC Outlet, and the Zeckelman School of Business and IT. I also want to give a big thank you to all the fans who tuned in. I know trying to get this match streamed was a little bit hectic, and I thank you for sticking with us here, because I know it was personally confusing for myself as well, trying to figure out what the heck was going on. Like, wait, wasn't there supposed to be a match? Wait, what do you mean they can't stream it? It was interesting, to say the least, but nonetheless, we do make it into, or we do go down in losers round 2. In fact, going to quickly try and take a look at the bracket to see where our final standing points would be, and kind of give a rough estimate as to what the other brackets look like, if it's something you do want to take a look at. That isn't what I'm looking for, and I broke everything. GG. Give me a briefest of moments here, and I will find it. That's better. Okay. A rare tech flub coming out of me. Yes, I am human, I swear to God. But anyway, so yeah, we're in the losers side of things. If they would have made it into, the Grants would have been up here, so third, fourth, tied for fifth, tied for seventh. We would technically be tied for ninth out of 90 teams this season. So that is still a fantastic run nonetheless. Georgia Southern, they're going to move up against the University of Alabama, which I'm sure that'll be being played a little bit later. As you can see, the schedule is all kinds of messed up, but it is what it is. And another fun fact down here, Illinois Orange, which were the number 1 seeds here today, or in this tournament, went down in the loser or in the winners bracket pretty early, and the 1 and 2 seeds actually had to play each other. You do not get to see that too often. The fact that there's been so much upsets in this entire playoff tournament. You love to see it. So if you do want to continue following along the additional like TESPA Collegiate Cold War playoffs, the other schools are streaming. You're going to probably have to take a look on Twitter to follow that one. I don't exactly have the schedule itself up ahead here. But if you do want to follow any of our additional action here on St. Clair, there's still, some of the seasons are starting to wind down, but there is still a couple left in play. I know Rainbow Six Siege is still going to the top of my head, and I think there's still a couple more as well. So a little bit more action before the Christmas break, and then we'll get right back onto it full throttle in the upcoming new year as well. Again, thank you to everybody tuning in as well, the fans that are cheering on their programs, friends and family. Hope you enjoyed today's broadcast, and I will see you next time for Collegiate R6.